12 by 16 gable storage shed with loft plans. This shed has exceptional versatility and ample storage space. This classic gabled outbuilding has a footprint that measures 12 by 16 feet, and it includes several features not found in most storage sheds. For starters, its 8-foot-wide overhead garage door provides easy access for large equipment, supplies, projects, or even a small automobile. The foundation and shed floor is a poured concrete slab, so it's ideal for heavy items such as lawn tractors and stationary tools. To the right of the garage door is a box bay window. This special architectural detail gives the building's facade a surprising house-like quality while filling the interior with natural light. The bay's 33-inch deep by 60-inch wide sill platform is the perfect place for herb pots or an indoor flower box. The adjacent wall includes a second large window and a standard service door, making this end of the shed a pleasant, convenient space for all kinds of work or leisure. Above the main space of the convenience shed is a fully framed attic built with 2 by 6 joists for supporting plenty of stored goods. The steep pitch of the roof allows for over 3 feet of headroom under the peak. Access to the attic is provided by a drop-down staircase that folds up and out of the way, leaving the workspace clear below. The garage door, service door, staircase, and both windows of the shed are pre-built factory units that you install following the manufacturer's instructions. Be sure to order all of the units before starting construction. This makes it easy to adjust the framed openings, if necessary, to match the precise sizing of each unit. Also, consult your local building department to learn about design requirements for the concrete foundation. You may need to extend or reinforce the perimeter portion of the slab, or include a footing that extends below the frost line. An extended apron is very useful if you intend to house vehicles in the shed. Step 1. Build the concrete foundation using the specifications shown in the foundation detail. The slab should measure 190 3/4 inch by 142 3/4 inch. Set the 14 J-bolts into the concrete as shown in the foundation plan. Step 2. Frame the rear wall following the rear framing illustration. Use pressure-treated lumber for the bottom plate and nail it to the studs with galvanized 16D common nails. All of the standard studs are 92 5/8 inch long. Square the wall, then add 1 by 4 lead-in bracing. Step 3. Snap chalk lines for the bottom plates so they will be flush with the outside edges of the foundation. You can frame the walls in 4 continuous panels or break them up into panels A through F, as shown in the wall framing plan. We completely assembled and squared all 4 walls before raising and anchoring them. Step 4. Raise the rear wall and anchor it to the foundation J-bolts with washers and nuts. Brace the wall upright. Frame and raise the remaining walls one at a time. Then tie all of the walls together with double top plates. Cover the outside of the walls with siding. Step 5. Cut 15 2 by 6 attic floor joists at 142 3/4 inch. Cut the top corner at both ends of each joist. Mark 1 7/8 inch along the top edge and 15 by 16 inch down the end. Connect the marks, then cut along the line. Clipping the corner prevents the joist from extending above the rafters. Step 6. Mark the joist layout onto the wall plates following the attic floor joist framing drawing. Leave 3.5 inch between the outsides of the end walls and the outer joists. Toenail the joists to the plates with 3 8D common nails at each end. Frame the rough opening for the staircase with doubled side joists and doubled headers. Fasten doubled members together with pairs of 10D nails every 16 inch. Install the drop-down staircase unit following the manufacturer's instructions. Step 7. Cover the attic floor with 1/2 inch plywood, fastening it to the joists with 8D nails. Step 8. Use the rafter template to mark and cut 2 pattern rafters. Test fit the rafters and adjust the cuts as needed. Cut all 24 standard rafters. Cut 4 special rafters with an extra bird's mouth cut for the box bay. Cut 4 gable overhang rafters. These have no bird's mouth cuts. Step 9. Cut the 2 by 8 ridge board at 206 3/4 inch. Mark the rafter layout on the ridge and wall plates as shown in front framing and rear framing. Frame the roof following the steps in the illustrations. Install 6.5 inch long lookouts 24 inch on center, Then attach the overhang rafters. Fasten the attic joists to the rafters with 3 10D nails at each end. Step 10. Mark the stud layout for the gable end walls onto the end wall plates following side framing. Transfer the layout to the rafters using a level. Cut each of the 2x4 studs to fit, mitering the top ends at 33.5 degrees. Install the studs flush with the end walls. Step 11. Construct the 2x4 half wall for the interior apron beneath the box bay. Cut 2 plates at 60 inch. Cut 5 studs at 32.5 inch. Fasten 1 stud at each end, and space the remaining studs evenly in between. Mark a layout line 12 inch from the inside of the shed's front wall. Anchor the half wall to the slab using masonry screws or a powder-actuated nailer. Step 12. Cut 6 2x6 joists at 36.5 inch. Toenail the joists to the inner and outer half walls following the layout in box bay window framing. The joists should extend 15 inch past the outer shed wall. Add a 60-inch long 2x4 sill plate at the ends of the joists. Cut 2 2x4 side studs to extend from the sill plate to the top edges of the rafters and install them. Install a built-up 2x4 header between the side studs 41 3/8 inch above the sill plate. Step 13. Install a 2x2 nailer half an inch up from the bottom of the 2x4 bay header. Cover the top and bottom of the bay with half an inch plywood as shown in the box bay window detail. Cut a 2x4 stud to fit between the plywood panels at each end of the 2x4 shed wall header. Fasten these to the studs supporting the studs and the header. Step 14. Bevel the side edge of the 2x6 blocking stock at 33.5 degrees. Cut individual blocks to fit between the rafters and attic joists and install them to seal off the rafter bays. See the overhead door header detail. The blocks should be flush with the tops of the rafters. Custom cut 2x8 blocking to enclose the rafter bays above the box bay header. See the box bay window detail. Step 15. Add 2x8 fascia to the ends of the rafters along each eave so the top outer edge will be flush with the top of the roof sheathing. Cover the gable overhang rafters with 1x8 fascia. Add 1x2 trim to serve as a drip edge along the eaves and gable ends so it will be flush with the top of the roof sheathing. Step 16. Add Z-flashing above the first row of the siding, then cut and fit the siding for the gable ends. Cover the horizontal seam with 1x4 trim snugged up against the flashing. Step 17. To complete the trim details, add 1x2 along the gable ends and sides of the box bay. Use 1x4 on all vertical corners and around the windows, service door, and overhead door. Rip down 1x10s for horizontal trim along the bottom of the box bay. Also, cover underneath the bay joists with half an inch exterior grade plywood. Step 18. Rip cut 1x6 boards to 4 1/8 inch wide for the overhead door jambs. Install the jambs using the door manufacturer's dimensions for the opening. Shim behind the jambs if necessary. Make sure the jambs are flush with the inside of the wall framing and extend 5/8 inch beyond the outside of the framing. Install the 2x6 trim as shown in the overhead door header detail and overhead door jamb detail. Step 19. Install the 2 windows and the service door following the manufacturer's instructions. Position the jambs of the units so they will be flush with the siding, if applicable. Install the overhead door, then add stop molding along the top and side jambs. See the service door header and jamb detail. Step 20. Install half an inch plywood roof sheathing, starting at the bottom ends of the rafters. Add building paper and asphalt shingles.